So, the Trump shooting, full disclosure, I am predisposed to assuming foul play or assuming conspiracy because I have such a deep distrust for the establishment in general, the political establishment, that, and especially after the last few years with COVID and everything, my first assumption is always that things are planned, things are staged and controlled. Because they have such ubiquitous control over everything, that when big events happen, my first assumption is that it was intended. So that's just a declaration of my bias. But given that, this does seem a bit dodgy, right? So let's go some of the facts. So apparently the crowd were trying to alert Secret Services to the presence of this guy on the roof before it happened, right? There is an interview with a guy speaking to this point, and I'll play that at the end of this video. You've probably already seen it. But yeah, so the crowd were trying to alert Secret Services to a guy on the roof with a gun, clearly visible, crawling up a white roof. There is footage of this guy. People were filming where this guy was on the roof, clearly visible.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. We can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead. Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. We can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead. Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó.
And apparently Secret Services were just basically ignoring the warnings that the crowd were giving about this guy. And there are also some aerial pictures of the area where this occurred, and it really does look like the Secret Service snipers that were on a different roof would have had a very clear view of where he was, potentially. Apparently this also goes against normal protocol of securing an area for an event like this, that you would have to be mindful of all potential vantage points, and number one on those lists, on the list of potential vantage points, is fucking roofs. So why that area was left unmanned, why they didn't have another security protocol, a detail on that roof when it was literally prime location, is weird. There's also another clip of the moment it happened, and correct me if I'm wrong, but looking at this clip, it really does look like Trump reacted at the exact same time, if not slightly before, the Secret Services got their shot off at the guy. No, sorry, after. Yeah, this is what made me think that's weird. That it looks like Secret Services got their shot off a millisecond before Trump reacts.
A little bit old, that chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart's a couple of months old, and if you...
Which is another weird thing. if he's been hit by a high caliber assault rifle round and it's just grazed his ear, and there's not like a significant amount of damage to his ear, that's weird as well. This comes like literally the day before, literally yesterday, the Biden Twitter account tweeted out that they are intending to ban assault rifles. Could be a coincidence, but it's just, again, I might be putting things together that don't necessarily mean anything, but these are my observations at this time, waking up to this news. I saw this tweet yesterday on the Biden account, I want to ban assault rifles, and basically blaming Trump or putting it on Trump that he wasn't going to do anything about that. So what better way to garner bipartisan support for banning assault rifles for citizens than the Republican candidate having an assassination attempt by an assault rifle weapon? You're not going to find too much vocal opposition to a ban on assault rifles after something like this happens, or at least it'd be a lot easier to suppress opposition to such a ban after an incident like this. And you know, the whole gun debate situation is obviously difficult in America because you're in this catch-22 situation where, you know, there is a valid argument to be made that, you know, so you want to disarm the people, but then the state has a monopoly on violence, and the state has a monopoly on gun ownership, which if you are planning to further tighten the noose on people's lives, then that's one of the things you're going to have to do, is to disarm them. If you're planning to ramp up authoritarian control, which is the direction of travel that we are seeing, that ramped up a lot during COVID with the canard of a public health crisis, but obviously fit into a long-standing agenda on this trajectory towards more and more control over people, more authoritarian rule. But yeah, could be coincidence. But you just have to think that something like this, I can't envisage that something like this could be allowed to happen by accident, or that it would happen by accident, that they wouldn't have normally secured a roof like that in such an obvious vantage point. And you know, the fact that they have managed to shoot and kill, I think I'm still seeing reports come through, I think this guy's dead, that they managed to shoot this sniper immediately after he's got his shot off. Or even from this clip where it kind of looks like the security sniper is shot milliseconds before Trump's reacted. So they had a line of sight. So why didn't they shoot earlier than that? There's, you know, questions to be answered. Very bizarre, very bizarre. But like I said, I just don't believe anything happens by accident anymore. I don't believe that they allow anything. I think they have too much control to allow things to happen by accident. They don't want to happen. It seems more likely that something would be staged for whatever reason than what would happen by accident. This guy apparently was a registered Republican. So my best guess is, you know, maybe they've recruited somebody, some useful idiot, and told him, oh, you want to be part of the effort? You're going to help Trump? You can help security detail. Get up on the roof there, keep an eye. Maybe he thought he was being recruited as security, and he's just a patsy, and they've used him. You know, conveniently shot and killed him immediately after he's got his shot off, and then no questions need to be asked then. I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think? I'll now play the video of the guy who was one of the crowd members that was trying to alert security about the presence of this guy. So, like I said, yeah, I am biased towards assuming that things are staged just because of the ubiquitous level of control that they have over everything, especially these kind of things. So that's being honest about my predispositions. But even given that, this seems a bit weird, doesn't it? All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Was here. You weren't inside the event,
Nope.
but you were just outside. Tell us what you
Yes.
saw. And
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
and he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling
Yep.
the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police, we were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
Binoculars.
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it,
No, sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance of her?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you just stay safe with your family and look
Gotcha.
after yourself. Thanks for your
Gotcha,
time.
man.